1 love.
I suppose you could say it might go one of two ways. She might still be so dialed in, and she had to play so many shots along the way against Hashimoto that it's going to come naturally.
Yeah, it's so difficult to say what toll it might have taken, whether it has set her up better for this kind of match. I mean, obviously now she's up against a fellow right-handed attacking player. A match that Wang Manyu would probably rather play, something she's more accustomed to.
And maybe if you're sure, you want to drag her around a little bit. Easier said than done, obviously.
I was absolutely enthralled at the way that she dispatched one of the biggest threats to Team China right now, Satsuki Odo. It was a breathtaking performance. She got her revenge there from the final of the WTT Contender Zagreb.
Been very impressed by Xunyao athleticism. Of course, we've known her for a long time. She really made a name for herself back in 2018, leading China to the World Junior Championships. But as Wang Manyu does that for the second time in the early exchanges here, She's got some game these days and some resilience.
And at, you know, 12 in the world, she'll be eyeing up an opportunity to get into the top 10 for the first time in her life.
Oh, Wang Manyu has looked so sharp and in a hurry here. She doesn't want to hang around for an hour and 16 minutes again, does she?
She really doesn't know. She's played 3 winners, 2 with the backhand, that one with the forehand. Incredible start here from Wang. A lot of them out to the wide forehand of Xunyao.
What a setting. What a beautiful venue this is, this Renaissance Arena. What's been really great is the way the support has just built and built and built. It sounded last night almost like a football crowd at times there. It was brilliant, particularly during Trull's match. And then following that, in her match against Hashimoto.
Beautiful propulsion there through the Xunyao backhand. Yeah, we've had a lovely mixture here, haven't we, in the Renaissance Arena? Chinese fans, as always, of course, the Swedes turning up in numbers from Oregard. We've seen some Germans, some French.
And what we saw last night, which was amazing, particularly in her match, was that the neutrals took a side. There were people chanting the name of Hashimoto, and then in return, the Chinese fans were chanting the name of Wang Manyu. It became an incredible atmosphere.
Yeah, and I think even the Chinese fans would have loved watching Honoka Hashimoto with her artistic style, her flamboyant defensive style. But here, Wang Manyu again with the backhand, imposing herself early on in the rally. Show with a decent flick, but Wang's so prepared the way that she centers her gravity, balances herself with that wide base.
So again, Xunyao went into a couple of serves needing to win them to draw level, but she's failed to do that with the first.
So far here, Wang Manyu not looking too fatigued.
Eight, 4.
Yeah, just as well, because she's back again this evening. She's got a women's doubles final to play with Suning Shah against the Japanese pair of Harimoto and Odo. I suppose experience is going to come into play, because for Xunyao, this is very new. She went out at the first hurdle on her previous 2 WTT Grand Smash appearances. A little glimpse there of one of the players she's beaten along the way here.
Five, 9.
There's a couple of good wins against her in recent times.
Yeah, beat her at the Champions Yokohama, beat her here. So there's some real pressure on the top 5 China players right now.
But right now, the number 2 Chinese player still has that 3-point advantage in the first. Interestingly enough, it was a team effort, really, with a coach Ma Lin alongside her, who plotted a path to that win against Hashimoto. Different dynamic here, as they'll have no coaches. Oh, we've seen that backhand.
10,
Down the years, we've seen plenty of it, Fraser, but especially in these opening exchanges, it looks dialed in.
It does, and Xunyao, despite getting in with the first spin, is losing the rally quite frequently here.
4 game points.
10,
That is
7.
really bold, given the circumstances.
Lovely brushing shot. A stunning forehand there from Wang Manyu, but what a brilliant block from Xunyao. She's giving herself a little chance here.
No chance, says
11,
Manyu.
7.
Thundering
Game
one there.
1 love.
Yeah, there'll be the intimidation factor because she has been around a while, as I said, you know, making a name for herself at a young age. But then now she's 24 and she'll have looked up, of course, to Wang Manyu for so many years. Now, she has to find a way to beat her.
Yeah, well said. And I mean, she has to look to draw inspiration from what Chen Yi did at the US Smash. Of course, she's just seen Chen Yi eliminated by Xunyao. So not only an opportunity here to beat the world number 2, but an opportunity. Oh, great shot from her there.
1,
to set up a dinner date for 2 against the world number 1 and world champion.
Look at Manyu. She did all she physically could to try and somehow muscle that back.
She came in to play that backhand from the forehand side, couldn't get back there. Oh, lovely flick there. So
3,
risky inside
1.
the table. Really flashy, classy shots. Watch this. Float serve again, but more propulsion. More energy transferred forward through that flick, and you can see her wide base still head. How she balances herself with the free arm as well. Great technique.
Left. 3, 1. Three, 2.
But she's a canny player, as Manyu, and knows she has to just keep in touch.
Look at this here. Some extra side spin, less top spin on it, very deep on the table.
Sure.
Just a little bit passive there.
Nothing passive
2,
about that.
4.
She spots an opportunity and pounces.
I think tactics-wise, Wang Manyu's going to have to be at her best here because Xunyao looks physically impenetrable. We saw her warming up with the resistance band. She takes great care of herself. Someone who's really treating this as an opportunity.
Adam and I were talking
3,
about that
4.
yesterday during that really impressive encounter. And he said the word from the Chinese camp is that as far as the athleticism goes, she's right up there. Physicality, preparation. But
4,
she is up
4.
against somebody who has beaten the best down the years and knows her way around these matches. When you get to the business end of these big events, and they don't come bigger than a Grand Smash.
Four, 5.
Just a little look of frustration, as you can understand there, with a service wasted.
Five all.
But that's a measure of where she's grown, isn't it, Fraser? This mental strength she had. Didn't get phased by messing up a serve. Came out, wins the next point.
Yeah.
And as much as anything, that's probably taken her where she is right now.
You will have seen a lot of players rush back then to try and make up for it straight away with that second serve. Not her, she took her time.
Oh! Wow, wow, wow. That's a huge
5,
break.
6.
She was second favourite in that exchange by a long way.
Just got her back there. And that reminds me of the match point save of Wang Manyu against Xunyao in the world final.
And then it was
7,
the turn of
5.
Wang Manyu to just compartmentalise that, put it aside and move on. But she can't win the next point. That's a big swing, then. 2 big points in a row there for the lower seeded player.
I guess 3 in a row after missing that serve.
Yeah. That tells you a bit about her.
Oh, well done indeed.
7,
Again, it's that backhand
6.
flick. Shirt is struggling to gauge which balls to wait for, which balls to come in on, because there's not much giveaway with the Wang Manyu flick, really. The foremotion of the shot is almost identical. Yeah, very nice. Wang Manyu there,
6,
punished
8.
for playing a slightly tentative backhand touch. You won't normally see a backhand touch, Wang Manyu.
Such a different assignment for Wang Manyu. Last night, on a regular basis, points lasting 30 to 40 shots. Totally different today.
Seven, 8.
Yeah, at the top level of table tennis, it's actually quite rare to see a rally longer than 4 or 5 shots. And that's because of the immense quality on the ball. And that's one of the differences between table tennis and other racket sports or bat sports. It's the spin.
8.
The spin makes it so difficult to create rhythm for yourself because it requires such a different level of calibration each and every time. So you saw there Wang Manyu playing a backhand from the middle, disguising where she was going with the shoulders before playing it to the wide forehand, and it had loads of spin on it.
She's put together
8,
a very
9.
tidy little run of points here. Remember, she trailed by a couple not that long ago.
She's subtle and she's stable. Similar pattern there to what Xunyao played earlier. Short touch to forehand, flick aggressively to backhand. Testing the recovery.
And there's another.
10, 8.
And she has now given herself 2 game points. What a time to come strong. Real pressure now on this woman. Well,
10,
she rises to
9.
the challenge, saves one of them, is within 1 now, but has to face another game point. She's looking to avoid going 2 games down here, remember.
This is interesting. They're both learning from each other in this match. Both taking leads out of the opponent's book. Xunyao that time playing a spinnier, more archy backhand.
Oh, and the second
10,
significant
all.
edge of this game, and another huge point there.
Well, she should count her lucky stars, because that's a really, really important edge. It saves another game point.
Now, when you're given a gift,
11,
what do you do with
10.
it? She was unable to make the most of that one, and it speaks volumes also for Wang Manyu's reserve that she now has a chance, a resolve rather, to close it out again. And there it is.
Well,
Edge or no
10,
edge, she
game
has
1.
edged that one.
One, love.
The best tactic against Wang Manyu is to play short forehand, deep backhand, and then try and pin the crossover section. But it's very difficult to play short forehand initially here for Xunyao because of this shovel serve.
Then she looks at the flick as well. Already, even in these relatively early stages of this match, having to come up with something a little bit different. And every time she tries and fails, it just edges Wang Manyu a bit closer to her goal.
One,
But there's
2.
no time for panic. We're playing a best of 7. How should Xunyao plot her way through this one?
I think first and foremost we have to try and pay attention to her belief, and I think that especially there in that juice situation, you could see she was a little bit passive, and she's quite afraid of the Wang Manyu backhand. We saw in the first few points, Wang Manyu was picking her apart to send a clear message with that backhand, hitting a few winners very, very early doors.
So she established a little bit of psychological dominance early on.
Early on, and that was important. Oh, you can see if you give Xunyao an inch, she'll take a mile. Great point construction there, and she could finish with the backhand from the middle of the table because she manoeuvred Wang out wide.
Expertly done. And she has to take strength from wherever she can. A little apology from Manyu there, as that one flicked the net, but again, that backhand. She's really achieving what she's achieving largely off the back of that potent weapon.
And we know how dynamically Wang Manyu can actually protect that crossover section by getting a little bit lower and wider and abbreviating the forehand. So Xunyao right now not playing that regularly to the forehand side in the rally. That's better. We have to try and see a few more third ball kills. We saw Wang Manyu do that to wrap up the last game, or was it the first game rather?
Yep.
Float serves, making it tough for your opponent to heavy push. If you send some nerves, making it tough for them to play a low touch, making it tough for them to power flick. So maybe float serving could be a good way for Xunyao to get back into this. She plays a long top spin, and she's inviting there a trade which I don't think she really wants. I think what she's doing right now is she's saying, okay, I've struggled in the rally with Wang Manyu, I now want to better her there, but she has to try and adapt rather than going back to an area that has just failed her.
6-3.
Wang Manyu looking like a different player right now.
Again, the hand held up there, but it's a 4-point advantage now. This is really getting into critical territory now for Xunyao. She can ill afford to go 3 down against a player of this caliber. Table shot, and it's now 5.
There's just more force in Wang Manyu's shots. She's better at the base of the table than Xunyao is at the back of the table, and that's come from years of experience. Oh, yeah, just missed contact with that one, Wang Manyu, with the top edge of the racket. But Wang Manyu really knows when not to step in. She can gauge where and when she needs to stay rooted at the base of the table. And she's been more divisive with the backhand, particularly from the middle, playing it with the flick, and also playing some spinnier balls as well.
Typically the fans here get the clap out when they really try to support the player who's struggling, but even that's not helping Xunyao stairs. Xunyao stares now at 7 game points against. And is cutting a bit of a forlorn figure, it has to be said now.
To try and get that forehand in as early as possible. Long serve.
Decided she wanted to engage, did, but the point goes the way of the number 2 seed.
Didn't quite have the surprise factor, that long serve. Perhaps something floatier, wider, or quicker and wider could be a good option for her. It'd be tough for Wang Manyu to pivot and or play the backhand down the line off that.
2 love.
Ultimately, Xunyao is playing with too much safety. And right now, the biggest risk she can take is not taking any risk. She has to really, really go for it.
Oh, again,
2-1.
playing with the paint. but she'll take anything she can get right now, Xunyao. She needs something. And when you tick off all the things that might happen, the occasional bit of luck, edge of the table, net, she's had that already and still hasn't been able to capitalize.
Yeah, in hindsight, that second game was a very important one, wasn't it?
She got the big break, wasn't able to capitalize on it, and since then, Wang Manyu has just stretched away, really.
Showing no sign of slowing. Another forehand parallel. She's actually baiting Xunyao in to play the backhand flick from the middle, and then she's taking her out down the line with such surgical precision. Oh, this has been a tactical masterclass jump.
Just about to say that, Fraser. When you consider the relatively short turnaround between that marathon last night and what's happening now, her preparation has just been outstanding, hasn't it?
Oh, well.
What goes around?
Yeah.
She benefited from a few of those already, a couple at least, and now Wang Manyu gets away with one.
And the desolate look is unchanged.
When it's against you, it's going against you. And that must be where she is right now. Can she somehow find the mental strength and the game to hang in here? That's a good comeback. Plenty of fighting spirit on show there from Xu. Again, though, off that Wang Manyu serve, the variety of it, the strength of it.
Yeah, she has the stronger serve, she has the stronger backhand, and she's playing for positioning a lot better than Xunyao in this semi-final. Better. You see, that's 2 for 2 now with that tactic.
She very nearly got the edge again there. But these are sporadic point wins for Xunyao. As good as they are, Fraser, she's working hard for points, but the bigger picture is she's losing more than she's winning.
But that right there was the better tactic. Stretching Wang Manyu quite early on, playing the backhand from the middle, and then she's setting up more time with her forehand. I think that Xunyao's weakness sometimes is that it takes her quite a while to wind up for a forehand. It's actually quite a big stroke compared to some of the other forehands like Sun Ying-sha's, which creates a lot of power with such a little foremotion. Oh, an escape there, but a great reach and a great read.
She's fighting for her life here. She's picked up 3 points in a row, and that has to happen now, or she's out. But if you do get drawn into those exchanges, you're playing a risky game against someone who's looked so sharp, so tidy today. Yep, the one she's supporting.
You can see the bat there is high. She's not using her arm really to generate that much power on the forehand. It's the body. Xunyao hasn't quite developed that level of technique yet. She will, though.
She's working so hard, Manyu. You have to be so impressed. Again, we referenced last night, but let's just focus on what she's done today. Such a controlling play here. And she's taking the best shots from Xunyao and coping with them.
And look, there is real fuel to this fire of Wang Manyu. She's looking for her first title this season.
9-5.
There's only one slight problem. If she does get through this, it's Xia who stands in the way. Now, Xia has the best of their head-to-head rivalry. There was a win this year for Manyu, but if you look at WTT, you've got to go all the way back to Singapore 2022 to find her last WTT win against Sun Ying-sha.
9-6.
But that's a conversation for later. She's got to finish this one off first. She's well placed to do so as she serves 9-6 up.
Seven,
And still, Xunyao fights, scraps for survival.
Yeah, it's a good fight here from the world number 12.
It's been a good game in many ways, isn't it? She's won a lot of the rallies.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, what a shot!
Give her a place in the final now.
7, 10.
Playing the way she is as she advances to 3 match points. You just can't argue with Wang Manyu.
Honestly, I think back there, we saw it against Diaz. We've seen it against so many of the top players here in the women's singles draw. She is so good back there, Wang Manyu. You can never count her out of a point.
There it is.
11-7. Game MS1.
A scoreline
4 games to love.
that probably will surprise a few people.